But that is my top 10 list. So I guess that means it's time for our good,
our bad,
and this guy. I mean, the Brainless.
and Bucky.
All right, Cousin Jay, don't even have to ask.
No, you don't.
It's unanimous, right?
Yes, obviously. Kevin Dunn being done with WWE is the good. As much as I wanted to put Joaquin Wilde, as much as I would have liked to put Shotzi Blackheart wrestling in her wedding gown as my good for this week, as much as I would have liked to put The Rock returning to TV. No. Bucky Beaver, thank you. Thank you. I never said thank you before, but thank you for leaving us.
Don't
let the door hit you on the way out.
Thank you, Mr. Willie. Thank you. You've made my day. Mama Fratelli, Goonies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. That was my good. And like I said, January 1st, 2024, it will be the quickest that anybody has ever won a Marquee Award. And that speaks volumes because Roman Reigns hasn't lost one award in 8 years.
Yes.
And even he did not win the Wettest Hair Award as fast as my mark out moment of the year.
Yes.
What do you got for your bad?
You know, it used to be a thing where Michael Cole being on a commentary team was kind of seen as a bad thing. And I think a lot of that actually had to do with Vince McMahon. I don't think it was a Michael Cole thing necessarily. Michael Cole has, specifically since Vince has been gone, has been much better.
Oh, absolutely.
Michael Cole's getting up there in age, and, you know, they were specifically asking him to be on both shows. That dude doesn't need to be traveling that much at his age. He's been the lead in WWE for 25 years. For God's sake, he's been in WWE longer than JR was at this point. So I understand him coming off of SmackDown, but do we need to have Kevin Patrick once again as a lead announcer? Constantly out of breath. It seems like he's well-liked, and it seems like he works hard. That's great and all, but, like, no.
Wrong.
So I gotta go with Kevin Patrick. Becoming a lead announcer once again when you have a perfectly good and suitable Vic Joseph down in NXT.
Yes, I agree. I went a different route.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't know? The Road Dogg's getting my bad this week. For the record, I was going to put him as my Brainless for the fact that he came out, and it doesn't matter if it's where he came out and did this interview. The fact that he came out and did an interview and said that he was a better sports entertainer than MJF.
Subscribe.
Road Dogg, what memorable thing did you do in your entire career other than you did your stupid shtick every single time you were in the ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages? D Generation X proudly presents to you its WWE Tag Team Champions of the World. That's it. What memorable match have you had in your career? I'm waiting. I'm listening. You know, Billy Gunn's more over than you. Shawn Michaels is absolutely more over than you. Triple H is definitely more over than you. X-Pac is more over than you. China was more over than the Road Dogg. The Road Dogg is basically like the last guy on the bench on a championship team that wants to seem important because he won an NBA title or a World Series championship, even though he played no more than like 7 games in the infield. He's Dalvin Cook on the Ravens in Week 18. I'm just here for the accolades.
Not like Joe Flacco on the Browns right now.
Right. All I'm saying is you were what you were in the 90s and the 2000s. But like I said, what memorable match have you had in your entire career that you can be like, yeah, I can say that I did this? MJF is better than 90% of the people in professional wrestling right now, and he's not even close to sniffing 30. You do not have the athletic ability. You do not have the wrestling ability, because I couldn't name a freaking match you were in that I gave a shit about. You were the roadie at WrestleMania when I was there. You are not, and I repeat, you are not a better sports entertainer than MJF. Because MJF has taken shits that have had more ability in the ring than anything you've ever done. So, Road Dogg, you get my bad, and you almost got my Brainless, but you know me. What do you got for your Brainless, though, Cousin Jay?
I don't even remember if it happened this week or last week, but it was not mentioned on the show last week if it happened last week, but I think actually it was this week. Becky Lynch and Nia Jax had a match.
It was on Raw.
Once again, Becky Lynch gets busted open by Nia. She didn't break her nose this time, but, you know, clearly they have Nia on the ascent. Clearly the idea, I think it's going to be Nia versus Rhea, either Rumble or out in Australia. Possibly WrestleMania, but because, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, there have not been a lot of, like, what I would consider, like, real credible threats to Rhea when she's put the title on the line. Nia would be. But you're putting somebody who is extremely reckless in the ring and dangerous in the ring. Broke Becky Lynch's nose all those years ago, put her in the ring again, and then she popped her again and busted her open again. Nia Jax, come on. By the way, I know I sent it to you. There was a meme out there with Ben Affleck and J-Lo. And it shows like Ben Affleck like whispering. And it said, and like the little caption says, "Hey, you know you look like Nia Jax." And then like there's this face where like J-Lo like looks inflamed and like Ben Affleck's like cackling. And the thing is the face that Jennifer Lopez is making in that second thing, it's like going, her face is exactly like Nia Jax. Nia Jax's eyes and face are exactly that.
That meme was my favorite thing on the internet until I found the Tony the Snowman thing that I posted on the page the other day.
Yeah.
That was almost as good as when got ran over or got beat up by Punk and A-Steel. Walking, and I forgot how it goes.
Cousin
Chris. Well, you know, I would love to have given it to Nia Jax, especially because it was this week on Raw that she busted her face and won the match, by the way. And I thought I almost broke my TV for that.
Ugh.
But that's not the route I'm going to go. Because you know me, Cousin Jay, anytime I can sit there and just pig pile on freaking AEW and just keep giving them all the shitty things, I'm going to keep doing it. And I'm going to give it to one of their wrestlers.
Okay.
Not Tony Khan. You avoided this week, Tony Khan, but don't worry. There's going to be 51 other episodes this year that you can still get my Brainless at least half the time. But not for you for this week. It's going to Koda Ibushi. Koda Ibushi, who has been out of action with a broken ankle, decided that he was going to wrestle at the Noah show they just did with a broken frickin' ankle. Not only did Koda Ibushi have the worst wrestling match of his career and of his opponent's career, but he apparently broke his other ankle in the process and had to drag his feet back to the locker room and told them to call him an ambulance.
That's Vince McMahon level.
Like, what the fuck are you thinking? If you have injuries, you need to address them. You can't ignore them because it's only going to get worse. And you wrestling with one broken ankle and then breaking the other one is the worst thing that could happen.
You know, one of the things Vince said and Triple H talks about is, as far as wrestling goes, as long as you could stand and walk, you could finish a match off. What was kind of their idea. If you got a broken ankle, guess what you can't do?
Can't walk.
Stand and walk. Dude.
Look, it was one thing when Cesaro or Claudio Castagnoli hit the top of the ring post and drove his two teeth into it. I mean, that's just I will never say a bad man. I will not say a bad thing about that man ever. That dude is tougher, as Gorilla Monsoon used to say. He's tougher than a $2. I'm sorry, JR used to say he's tougher than a $2 steak. That man's tougher than a 50-cent steak.
Yeah.
But to go out there with a broken ankle and just be like, yeah, I'm going to wrestle this match, embarrass your entire career having this match, and then breaking your other ankle. Koda Ibushi of EEW, you get the Brainless for the Brainless one this week. So if you liked what you've seen, whether you are a first-time watcher or a continuous fan, make sure you like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter X, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to us on YouTube at the letter T, the letter H, the letter E, the letter F, the letter N, MARKS, the F and Marks. If you like, follow and subscribe to us, we will do the same back. That has always been our
mantra. And make sure you set up notifications so that when we go live, you will be notified that we're going live, whether it's on the YouTube or on the Facebook or on the X. And make sure you subscribe to us also on Spotify. We drop the podcast there. So that way, if you have not seen it live, you can take it on the road with you and listen on one of those many, many different places.